Okay, so I need to tell you something, and honestly, this might completely change how you think about tomorrow, because what's happening on April 1st? This isn't just another full moon. This isn't even just another Libra full moon. I really believe this is one of the most significant cosmic moments of the entire year for relationships, justice, and karmic balance. Tomorrow night, the full moon in Libra is going to light up the sky at exactly 12 degrees, and with it comes this massive wave of what I can only describe as cosmic justice, like the universe is literally balancing the scales. And if you've been feeling like something's been building, like there's this tension in the air that you can't quite name, there's a reason for that. You're already feeling it. And here's what's really getting my attention. 3 specific zodiac signs are positioned to receive absolutely massive breakthroughs tomorrow. I'm talking life-changing shifts in love, relationships, and even finances. If you're one of these signs, you need to hear this. I'll tell you exactly who they are and why they're about to win big later in this video. But first, there's something I think you need to understand about what's actually happening right now, because this full moon, it's not operating alone. And if you've been experiencing some really strange relationship dynamics lately, stay with me on this one. There's a very specific reason that's happening, and I'm going to break it down for you. The scales are about to balance, and not everyone will like it. So here's the thing most people don't realize about Libra energy. When we think of Libra, we think peace, harmony, beauty, right? But here's what I've learned, and this was honestly a huge realization for me. Libra isn't about keeping the peace at all costs. It's about justice, true equilibrium, and sometimes restoring balance requires completely disrupting the false peace you've been maintaining. That's what tomorrow's full moon is about, the scales of justice, and I really believe the universe is done watching us accept less than we deserve in relationships. Have you noticed something shifting in your partnerships lately? Maybe you're suddenly seeing things you've been ignoring for months or even years. Maybe you're finally recognizing patterns that have been draining you, or maybe you're experiencing this strange clarity about who actually shows up for you and who just takes. This isn't random. This is the full moon already working on you, because here's what happens during a Libra full moon. It puts a spotlight on every single imbalance in your relational world, where you've been overgiving, where you've been settling, where you've been compromising yourself for someone who wouldn't do the same for you. And tomorrow, all of that comes to a head. The universe is delivering verdicts. Some people are about to receive massive breakthroughs and rewards for the inner work they've done. Others are going to face some really uncomfortable truths about relationships they've been clinging to. But here's what I want you to understand, and I really mean this. Whatever happens tomorrow is happening for you, not to you. This is justice. This is the rebalancing you've been asking for, even if you didn't know you were asking for it. Something is about to pop, and I mean that literally. Okay, so there's this really fascinating detail about tomorrow's full moon that I think explains so much about what we're all feeling right now. The moon lands on the 13th degree of Libra, and there's this ancient symbolic system that assigns a specific image to every single degree of the zodiac. For this degree, it's children blowing soap bubbles. At first, when I read that, I thought, okay, that's kind of random, but then it clicked, and honestly, it was a big aha moment for me. Think about a soap bubble for a second. It's beautiful, right? Iridescent, perfect. It looks like it could last forever. But here's the thing, it's incredibly fragile. One touch, one gust of wind, one shift in pressure, and it's gone. Popped. Vanished. And I think that's exactly what's about to happen to some of our relationships tomorrow. The ones built on fantasy, the ones where you've been projecting what you want to see instead of dealing with what's actually there. The ones that look perfect on the surface but have no real substance underneath. Those soap bubbles, they're about to pop, and as much as that might hurt, I really believe it's necessary, because you can't build a real, lasting partnership on an illusion. You just can't. This full moon is going to expose which relationships are soap bubbles, beautiful but fragile fantasies, and which ones have actual substance, which connections can survive reality, which people are showing up authentically versus who's just playing a role. And if you're in a relationship that's been built on honest communication, vulnerability, and real reciprocity, tomorrow is going to strengthen that bond even more. But if you've been ignoring red flags, making excuses, or convincing yourself that things will magically get better without any actual change, the universe is about to pop that bubble for you. Does that resonate? Because I think a lot of us have been feeling this pressure building for weeks now. The crow is coming to clean house. So there's another layer to this that I think makes tomorrow even more intense. The degree where this full moon lands is also connected to a specific fixed star called Algorab. And when I learned about this star, everything about this full moon made so much more sense. Algorab is in the constellation of the crow, and in ancient mythology and astrology, the crow is a scavenger. It cleans up decay. It doesn't ignore what's rotting. It consumes it to purify the environment. Does that make sense? So when this full moon activates that energy tomorrow, I believe we're entering a period of serious spiritual house cleaning, especially in relationships. The crow energy doesn't do polite diplomacy. It doesn't tiptoe around uncomfortable truths. It goes straight for what's corrupt, what's manipulative, what's hiding beneath the surface, and it drags it into the light. If there's been dishonesty in your relationships, you're about to find out. If someone's been using you, draining your energy, or operating from a place of hidden agendas, it's coming to the surface. And I know that sounds intense, but here's the thing. This is actually protective. This is the universe refusing to let you waste any more time on people who aren't operating with integrity. The crow clears away the dead wood so new growth can happen, and honestly, I've been feeling this myself, like there's this sense that certain connections in my life are just done. Not because anything dramatic happened, but because they've run their course, the energy has shifted, and I think tomorrow is going to make that undeniably clear for a lot of us. 3 cosmic triggers are firing in 72 hours. Now here's where this gets really interesting. Tomorrow's full moon isn't happening in isolation. There are 3 major planetary alignments happening within 72 hours of this full moon that are basically acting as cosmic triggers. And when I mapped these out, I realized this isn't just a full moon, this is a concentrated delivery system for relationship karma. The first trigger actually already happened, just last night. The sun formed this really powerful connection with something called Black Moon Lilith. And if you're not familiar with Lilith energy, think of it as the part of you that refuses to be tamed. The part that won't compromise your authenticity for anyone, your wildest, most unapologetic self. So what does it mean when the sun connects with that energy right before a justice-focused full moon? I think it means you're being given the courage to finally honor yourself, to stop performing, to stop twisting yourself into shapes that please other people while abandoning yourself. If you've been feeling this sudden surge of, I don't know how to describe it, almost defiant self-honoring, that's this. You're reclaiming parts of yourself you've been suppressing to keep the peace, and tomorrow's full moon is going to amplify that even more. The second trigger happens on April 3rd, Mercury connecting with Jupiter. This one is actually really beautiful. It's like after the truth comes out, after the bubble pops, after the crow clears the decay, this aspect brings healing conversations, compassionate communication, the ability to talk through what's happened with emotional generosity and wisdom. So if tomorrow brings some tough realizations or difficult endings, this aspect on the 3rd provides the space for resolution, for saying what needs to be said with kindness, for finding closure that actually feels complete. But the 3rd trigger, this is the big one, and honestly, this is what I think makes this full moon so powerful for love karma specifically. Venus is squaring off with Pluto, and that changes everything. On April 3rd, Venus, the planet of love, values, relationships, money, forms this really tense aspect with Pluto. And Pluto is all about power, transformation, the underworld, psychology, control dynamics. When these two clash, things get intense. Here's what I think this means. Any relationship that's been built on manipulation, unequal power dynamics, financial control, or emotional games, it's about to implode. Like, rapidly. Because this Venus-Pluto square is the engine of karmic justice. It forces you to confront where you've given your power away for the illusion of security. Maybe you've stayed in a relationship because leaving feels financially impossible. Maybe you've accepted treatment you know isn't right because you're afraid of being alone. Maybe you've been holding on to someone who keeps you small because you're scared of your own power. Whatever it is, this aspect doesn't let you hide from it anymore. And I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This can be painful. When Pluto gets involved, things die so they can transform. But here's what I really want you to hear. If a relationship can't survive this transit, it wasn't meant to. And the universe is making space for something so much better. On the flip side, and this is important, if you're in a connection that's built on real honesty, vulnerability, and mutual empowerment, this transit makes it unbreakably strong. It's like the universe is testing the foundation, and the solid ones get reinforced while the shaky ones crumble. So this isn't just about endings, it's about truth, it's about power, it's about making sure your relationships reflect your actual worth, not your wounds. And if you've been doing the inner work, if you've been showing up with integrity, you're about to be massively rewarded, which brings me to the 3 signs that are positioned to win absolutely huge tomorrow. Libra, you're taking your power back. Okay, so if you're a Libra, tomorrow is literally your moment. This full moon is happening in your sign, which means the cosmic spotlight is directly on you, and I really believe this is your breakthrough. For months, maybe even years, you've been stretched thin. You've been the peacekeeper, the mediator, the one who bends over backward to make everyone else comfortable. And honestly, you've been losing yourself in the process, right? But tomorrow, something shifts. That fixed star I mentioned, Algorab, the crow, it's activating directly in your sign. And what that means is you're being given the courage to stop people-pleasing, to vocalize your boundaries without the paralyzing fear of abandonment that's been holding you back. And here's the really powerful part. Your ruling planet Venus is going through that intense square with Pluto. So not only are you setting boundaries, you're undergoing a complete metamorphosis around self-worth. You're realizing, probably suddenly, almost like a download, that your value is inherent. It's not conditional on how useful you are to someone else. It's not dependent on how beautiful, agreeable, or accommodating you can be. This realization, it's magnetic. When you drop the performance of being the perfect partner and just exist as your authentic self, your entire energetic field clears. And what happens then? The people who were draining you fall away. The relationships that required you to be small dissolve, and suddenly, sometimes literally overnight, you attract or evolve into a partnership that actually honors who you are. If you're dealing with any legal stuff, contracts or financial disputes right now, tomorrow also brings massive momentum toward resolution in your favor. The scales are balancing, and they're tipping toward justice for you specifically. Aries, your relationship breakthrough is here. If you're an Aries, this full moon is lighting up your relationship sector, directly, the area of your chart that governs committed partnerships, contracts, one-on-one connections. It's all being illuminated tomorrow. And I think what's happening for you is even deeper than a typical relationship shift, because right now you also have Chiron, the wounded healer, really close to your sun. Which means you're going through this profound healing around identity, self-worth, and your right to take up space. Here's what I see happening. You're naturally someone who leads, right? You initiate, you conquer, you charge forward, but the Libra full moon is asking you to master the other side of that equation: reception, listening, true partnership where you're not always driving the ship. And tomorrow, with all these alignments, I think a karmic block that's been preventing real intimacy just shatters. Maybe you've had your guard up. Maybe you've been so focused on maintaining independence that you've accidentally pushed away vulnerability. Or maybe you've been in relationships where you felt like you had to compete instead of collaborate. Whatever it is, that pattern is breaking, and for single Aries, you might suddenly attract someone who matches your fire but brings balance. Someone who can keep up with you without trying to control you. For partnered Aries, you're about to experience a deepening of your connection that you didn't know was possible. And here's the bonus. Your ruling planet Mars is about to make some really fortunate connections over the next week, which means sudden financial opportunities, unexpected collaborations, or breakthroughs in joint ventures are also on the table. This isn't just emotional healing, it's material blessing too. Has that been happening for you already? Cancer, your emotional investment pays off. Cancer, this one's for you, and honestly, when I looked at the astrology for this full moon, I got emotional thinking about what's coming for Cancer placements. Because you've been through it. You've invested so much emotional labor into your relationships, your family, your home, your people, and sometimes it's felt like, where's the return, right? Where's the reciprocity? Tomorrow, you get your answer, because Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, miracles, is currently in your sign. And Jupiter in Cancer is one of the most blessed placements in all of astrology. It's protective, it's generous, it amplifies everything beautiful in your life. This full moon is activating your home and family sector, your roots, your foundation, your sense of safety, and I really believe you're about to see a massive return on all the care you've given. This could show up as a long-standing family issue finally resolving, a real estate situation turning in your favor, a domestic dispute clearing up, or a romantic partnership finally providing the emotional security you've been craving. You're also getting these beautiful supportive aspects to Mercury and Jupiter on April 3rd, which means communication flows easily for you. Conversations that have felt stuck suddenly break open. People finally hear what you've been trying to say, and you're able to express your needs without feeling guilty about it. But here's what I think is the biggest win for you. You're breaking generational patterns, the emotional cycles that have been passed down through your family line. They're stopping with you. You're establishing a new baseline of what emotional safety looks like. And that is powerful. That's healing not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. The universe is rewarding your vulnerability, your willingness to stay soft in a hard world, your refusal to harden your heart even when it would have been easier. And tomorrow, you step fully into your authority without apology. What everyone needs to do tomorrow. So regardless of your sign, I think there are some really important things we all need to be aware of tomorrow. This full moon energy is strong. It's not subtle. It's going to bring things to a head, whether you're ready or not. First, pay attention to what comes up. If someone shows you who they really are tomorrow, believe them. Don't make excuses. Don't rationalize away red flags. The truth is being revealed for a reason. Second, if you feel the urge to have a difficult conversation, trust that. The energy supports truth-telling right now. You might be surprised by how receptive people are to honesty, even if the conversation is uncomfortable. And if they're not receptive, that's information too. Third, be gentle with yourself. If relationships end tomorrow, if illusions shatter, if you finally see what you've been avoiding, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel sad even when you know something was unhealthy. Endings are hard, even when they're necessary. Give yourself permission to feel whatever comes up. And fourth, trust the process. I know that sounds cliché, but I really mean it. The universe isn't clearing things from your life to leave you empty. It's making space for what's meant for you, for the relationships that honor you, for the connections that feel like home instead of homework. You might not see the breakthrough immediately. Tomorrow might feel more like a breaking point than a breakthrough, but I promise you, when you look back on this in a few months, you're going to understand why this moment had to happen, why the scales had to balance, why the truth had to come out. This is about liberation, not loss. Here's what I really want you to understand as we head into tomorrow. This full moon isn't punishing you, it's freeing you. Every toxic attachment that falls away, that's liberation. Every illusion that gets shattered, that's clarity. Every boundary you finally set, that's self-love. The karmic justice being delivered tomorrow isn't about the universe deciding who's good or bad. It's about alignment. It's about making sure your outer relationships match your inner evolution. Because if you've been growing, changing, doing the work, you can't stay in connections that require you to be who you used to be. And that's what this is, a massive energetic upgrade in your relational world. The people who can't match your new frequency will fall away naturally. And the ones who can, they'll rise with you. Or new people will enter who are already operating at that level. This is also why I think the universe had to make this so intense. Because comfortable doesn't create change. You don't leave situations that feel bad when they still feel manageable. You stay stuck. You keep hoping, you keep trying to make it work, and the universe is done watching you do that. So tomorrow, the comfortable gets disrupted, the illusions get popped, the masks come off, and yes, it might feel chaotic in the moment, it might feel like everything's falling apart, but I really believe that what's actually happening is everything's falling into place, the right place, finally. One last thing before tomorrow. If you're still here, thank you. Seriously, I know this was a lot. These cosmic moments always bring up so much, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and prepare yourself for what's coming. If this resonated with you and you want to stay connected for more astrology content, hitting that subscribe button would mean the world to me. And if you have friends who need to hear this, especially Libra, Aries, or Cancer placements, share this with them. This is important information, and I think people need to be prepared for what tomorrow brings. Take care of yourself tonight. Get some rest if you can. And tomorrow, when the moon is full and the scales start balancing, remember that justice might feel intense, but it's always working in your favor, even when you can't see it yet. I'll catch you in the next one.